गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। चिन्मयं व्यापि यत्सर्वं त्रैलोक्यं सचराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। भवानी शङ्करौ वन्दे श्रद्धा विश्वासरूपिणौ याभ्यां विना न पश्यन्ति सिद्धाः स्वान्तस्थमीश्वरम्। हरिः ओम्। नित्यमुक्तं निष्क्रियब्रह्मम् नित्यमुक्तं निष्क्रियब्रह्मम् निष्प्रपञ्चं निर्गुणब्रह्मम् निष्प्रपञ्चं निर्गुणब्रह्मम् असङ्गत्वम् अनन्ततत्त्वम् असङ्गत्वम् अनन्ततत्त्वम् नित्यमुक्तं निष्क्रियब्रह्मम् नित्यमुक्तं निष्क्रियब्रह्मम् निष्प्रपञ्चं निर्गुणब्रह्मम् निष्प्रपञ्चं निर्गुणब्रह्मम् असङ्गत्वम् अनन्ततत्त्वम् असङ्गत्वम् अनन्ततत्त्वम् अद्वितीयम् आनन्दरूपम् अद्वितीयम् आनन्दरूपम् उदासीनं शान्तस्वरूपम् उदासीनं शान्तस्वरूपम् अद्वितीयम् आनन्दरूपम् अद्वितीयम् आनन्दरूपम् उदासीनं शान्तस्वरूपम् उदासीनं शान्तस्वरूपम् नित्यमुक्तं निष्क्रियब्रह्मम् नित्यमुक्तं निष्क्रियब्रह्मम् उदासीनं शान्तस्वरूपम् अद्वितीयम् आनन्दरूपम् अद्वितीयम् आनन्दरूपम् अद्वितीयम् आनन्दरूपम् ॐ नमो वासुदेवाय सत्यज्ञानसुखात्मने अखण्डायाप्यमूलाय मायिने सर्वसाक्षिणे मायिने सर्वसाक्षिणे ओंकारः सर्ववेदानां सारस्तत्त्वप्रकाशकः तेन चित्तसमाधानं मुमुक्षूणां प्रकाश्यते मुमुक्षूणां प्रकाश्यते आसीदेकं परं ब्रह्म नित्यमुक्तमविक्रियम् तत्स्वमाया समावेशाद् बीजमव्याकृतात्मकम् बीजमव्याकृतात्मकम् हरिः ओम। Health is an expression of our intention and our attitude and the spiritual way of looking at things. When our intention is pure, attitude is right, and the way in which we view things and beings and situations around us is spiritual, then that expresses as health, physical, emotional, mental, intellectual and spiritual health. If there is something not right or pure with the attitude and intention, and our way is not spiritual, but the worldly way of looking at things, which in other words is the mechanical way of looking at things, as per the tendencies, as per the things that are there in our chitta. If we look at the world as per those things, the worldly way of looking at things, the wrong attitude and the impure intention, that results in disease. When we deeply look into the causes, when we go beyond the symptoms, the appearance of diseases, when we go deep into the causes, then we come to understand it all is connected with the intention, attitude, and the way in which we look at things. So health is equal to intention I, attitude A, spiritual way of looking at things S, IAS. So please, easy way to remember. Even you reverse it, SAI. That also is an easy way to remember, Sai. Spiritual way of looking at things, attitude, intention. And then disease, when we look at the disease, actually it is habitual way of looking at things. That is more appropriate word than the worldly way of looking at things. Habitual way of looking at things, attitude, intention. High. So remember, disease is equal to high. Habitual way of looking at things, attitude which is not right, intention which is not pure. Simple. So, it all depends how we can create that purity in all levels. We have to begin somewhere, either with the intention or with the attitude or with the way in which we look at things. If we begin, then definitely the whole thing will take a radical change. Whatever we are undergoing, it will become different. And whenever we are talking about spiritual way of looking at things, in comparison with the habitual way of looking at things, one thing we have to understand. The way in which we look at things without the spiritual touch, without the scriptural touch, without the touch of the satsang, then definitely we have to look at it in such a way that there has to be total change in the way in which we look at things. The spiritual way is totally different, completely different. As far as the healing is concerned, as far as the specifics of healing is concerned, it is totally a different way. There is no right, there is no wrong. It has to be beyond the right and beyond the wrong. When our intention is to claim ourselves right and to prove other person wrong, that intention also will affect us. Because this type of thinking and this attitude and this intention are not a positively higher level. They are okay, but not very high or positive or greatly divine levels. Because we are always looking at, I am right, you are wrong. I am right, you are wrong. This is basically the problem of the ego. I am always right and I want to prove you as wrong. Even though I am wrong, I want to do that. See, the scripture is there always. This doesn't mean there should be lawlessness. Please don't misunderstand this. The scripture is there. The code of conduct is there. Laws are there. Rules and regulations are there. We are not saying there should be no rules, no laws, and there should be chaos in the society. No. But the attitude individually, is it referring to and submitting to the standards that are set by the scriptures or the wise people, or the standard of measurement is connected with the ego? Most of the times, this is with the ego only, almost all the times. I am right, that's all. And then the next thing follows. I am right, finished. I always look at it from this ego standpoint only. Whatever the other person is trying to say, I have already decided that you are wrong. That's it. My approach is like that. You are wrong. I am right. A spiritual way of looking at things is totally different. It is beyond this conflict. It is much above all these habitual tendencies. Let us see certain specifics of healing. Point number 1. Most important thing here is letting go of the sensory experience of whatever we are having. It is the question of disease or illness. There is a sensory experience of it. What generally is done is we resist the sensory experience of the disease, of the illness. That resistance increases the pain or the suffering. Mentally, by resisting it, we are not going to cure it, but we are going to enhance it. So, letting go of the sensory experience of the illness or disease or whatever is happening, whatever is the experience that is occurring or appearing at the sensory level, let it be. Let that be. We need not say it should not be, and we need not mentally try to resist it. Let it be. Because it is already there. We are talking about a spiritual way. Let it be. And whatever experiences are happening, let them happen. Because it's already giving some experience at the sensory level. Let it give. Let go of it. First point. Let it go. Let it go on. We are freed from resisting. We are freed from enhancing. We are freed from increasing. We are freed from supporting that disease. We are just allowing it. Okay, it is there. Let it be. The second thing is not having any name to it, not attributing any label to it. Whatever is happening, no name, no label. Later on, we will come to see why this is very important. If there is no name, no label, then what is it? That is that. That's all. Whatever we are getting it, at that level, sensory level of experience, when we are letting go of it, whatever we are experiencing, that is it. That's all. No name, no label. Third point. Using no words at all. Using no words at all, welcome experiencing whatever we are experiencing in a radical way. Radical way means from the roots, right from the roots onwards. Welcome experiencing whatever we are experiencing. Using no words, no name, no label, no words, just experience. Allow that experience to be there. Then the next point. Cancel the thought form connected with it. Cancel the belief system associated with it. Cancelling the thought form and the belief system. Just cancel them. And then the next point is choose the energy field of love. Pure love. When we choose the energy field of love, the healing begins. With all these prerequisites, when we choose to express love, because yesterday we have seen about the akara. What is that? Something was told. Akara means what? Something. What body and what state and what something. Vishwa and the gross body and the waking state. So, and then once the connectivity is seen, that Vishwa is one with Virata, the micro is one with macro, then we feel the support of the macro, the togetherness of the macro, the strength of the macro, the power of the macro, of the samashti level. So then when the connectivity is seen, that the banks are not separated but they are actually united, the separation is only an outer external sensory perception, actual intellectual understanding is unity, sensory perception is division, but actual understanding is unity. The flow of water, the river is a sensory perception. Sensory perception is not real. Even though we are seeing water, water is okay, our senses are registering this experience is okay, but actually it is not real. It is not actually separating the banks. The banks appear to be separated. When we go deep inside it with intellectual perception, then they are united. There is no division there. Both the banks are united. There is a connectivity. So that connectivity, when we come to see, then there is only love. If there is opposite, you have to hate. If there is something other, then you have to fight. You have to conflict. When it is a connected unity, where is the conflict in unity? Where is the fighting in unity? Where is the separation in unity? So there can be love. There can be love. So choosing the energy field of love will not happen without this understanding. It is not forcing oneself to love. It is not hypnotizing oneself to love. It is understanding that there is unity underneath. There can only be love. The division is superficial, apparent. That is why spiritual way is totally different. If you want healing, then spiritual way. Then if you want time pass with other things, let it continue. Habitual way. There is no compulsion that we have to change. This is very clear. In Panchikarana, the spiritual connectivity is being given to us at whatever level we want. Gross level, yes. Subtle level, yes. Causal level, yes. Even more subtler, yes. Absolute level, yes. Worldly level, yes. Where can you find such connectivity? Please tell me. Whichever level we can be, we are, depending upon the mental and intellectual level of purity, there itself the connectivity is shown. We are made to understand that connectivity. This is what is connected. It is connected. Whichever level you want to see, you see it is connected. Gross elements, yes, connected. So that way, this is being explained to us. See, when we discussed about cancelling the thought form and the belief system, let us look into one experience. When someone who is close to us in relationship gets separated temporarily or permanently, either temporary or permanent. We are not talking about reasons, causes. We are talking about a fact, a condition which is given. When someone who is close to us gets separated, temporary or long term or permanent, then immediately the mind gives a label. What? Grief. That is the grief. The moment the mind gives a label, grief, because someone who is close, if that person gets separated, the habitual way of mind's reaction is grief. Now this is a label, grief. And then the belief system comes into action. Whenever somebody who is close gets separated, you have to undergo grief. That's all. This is a belief system. We undergo grief. We experience grief. Shoka, we experience grief. This is a belief system. We had been believing this. If someone is separated, grief. Label, belief system. Then the form for that is given. The form, the thought form and emotional form. Both these forms are given to that. Name and label. The name label is grief. Belief system is there that we undergo grief, shoka. We undergo a sort of inconvenient feelings. That is a belief system, and a thought form is given, and an emotional form adds onto it. Then what happens is the energy that is rising there from within, energy which is rising from within, that energy, because we are with the belief system, with the thought form, with the naming, with the labeling, we are giving something to it. That energy, when it rises, because we experienced something, we are facing something in the form of a situation, that is a separation. When the separation is there, suddenly there is some upsurge of inner emotional energy which is there. It wants to come out. That is what we have to handle actually. It wants to express itself. Because since so many days, weeks, years, decades and births, all has been suppressed, compressed, repressed. Suppressed, compressed, repressed. That is why we were depressed. No way to get expressed. And all this compressed, suppressed, repressed energy that is there, it is like a pressurized gas in a cylinder or in a tank. A pressurized gas in a cylinder or in a tank, which is trying to find a way to escape. When it is trying to find a way to escape, there is a safety valve. A safety valve allows the pressure to escape. The situations are safety valves. The circumstances are safety valves. The happenings are safety valves. The incidents are safety valves. Then what happens? It's trying to express. It's coming out. Because it is not an ordinary, simple, stored energy. It is so much of compression, suppression, repression. What happened to Iceland volcano? Like that, it is so much suppressed, repressed. And now it is finding an expression. When it is finding an expression, if you are with the energy, whatever sensations are happening at the physical level, let it happen. Let there be. It is expressing. Because it can't stay there. It has to express. It has to go out. It has to be released. It has to find its way. It has to come out. It is coming out because now there is an excuse for it. The excuse is situation, happening, incident. This is an excuse. So it is coming out. It is a safety valve. When it is coming out, allow it to go out. What are we doing? Habitual way. Resist it. When we resist it, there is more pressure to come out. That increases suffering or decreases suffering? Increases suffering, increases pain, increases disease, increases illness. When we try to resist it. That is what is our experience. Struggle, convert pain into suffering. Pain is a pain, it is a fact, it is a condition, it is there. But why there is mental suffering added onto it? Mental suffering is because of something which we do habitually, the habitual way. What we do immediately? We resist the sensory experience. This is not okay. No, this will not happen. This will not be there. I don't think this is not allowed. Then, will it stop? It will not. This is what we had been doing all the while. It is coming out. No name, no label. Just think, try. There is no name, no label. There is no word that is used. Energy, is pure energy, unnamed and also unformed into any other manner. It is raw energy that is there. What happens when it rises? We give a name, a label, and then a thought form. What is the thought form? Grief. Then emotional form is there. Belief system. Whenever somebody gets separated, then I have to undergo suffering. So many janmas of suffering, and it is so deeply imprinted. Anybody go, this is the habit. Immediately. What we have to handle is not even the incident, not even the happening, not even the situation. All that we have to handle is the energy which is rising high, which is trying to come out, which is trying to escape, which is trying to find its way out. It is coming out, allow it to go. It is not an infinite tank. It is a finite. It will go. It will get exhausted. Each incident, each situation is like a safety valve. It releases certain amount. Let it go. Once we open it, it goes on and on and on and on. One day there is no more. There is nothing afterwards. So when we give a thought form and an emotional form, it goes through that form. That energy goes through that form. When it goes through that form, more grief, more suffering, more pain. Who gave that? We gave it. Why we have to give that form to it? Why? Have it. Spiritual way is just be with it. At that time, cancel the thought form, cancel the belief system. When the energy is rising, when the habit is coming in between, when the thought form has come, cancel it. No grief. Cancel the thought form. Don't give a guru to it, a form to it. If you give a form, it goes through that form. If you don't give that form, it just goes out. Without form, without any emotion associated with it. It just goes out. No form given. Cancel the belief system. Every time, whenever somebody gets separated, there is grief. Cancel it. Why? Cancel it. Cancelled. Belief system cancelled. I don't believe that whenever somebody gets separated, I have to suffer. Cancel belief system. Why can't we cancel? It is an accepted system. It is an accepted thing. Self-made thing. Either learned or borrowed. That's what it is. It's a limitation. Belief system. Change the belief system. What is the belief system? Nothing happens to me. Nothing happens. Where anybody can get separated? When everything is connected in Virata, when everything is Virata Swarupa, the totality, total aggregate of all gross bodies is Virata. When we are all connected as the total gross body, where one can get separated? Where is separation? Is it not a created thought form? Where one can go, leaving whom? When it is all five elements, where is the separation? This is what Panchikarana does to us if we really, truly, subtly go deep into it and try to understand. Otherwise, mechanical ways, without thinking, without properly understanding, if you go into it, that is how it is. There was one chief executive officer of a company. He was having a very, very, very important high-level meeting with worldwide CEOs, top 20 CEOs of the world. So he had a meeting. So then, before he went into the meeting, he called his personal secretary. A very intelligent, smart girl was his personal secretary. He called her and said, see, this is an important meeting. Don't connect me to anyone who says it is very important, it is very urgent, and they have to talk to me. Don't give the connection. It's a meeting, very important, top level, high level meeting. Let anybody call. Politely deny them. Don't be harsh, don't shout at them, politely deny them. But simple way to deny is, I will tell you one thing. Whatever they say, I am close to him, and then I am this and I am that, and he is my very friend, and I am important person to him, for his, whatever they may say, you tell one word. They all say that. They all say that. Excuse me, sorry, I cannot connect. And then he went to the meeting started. Within 3 minutes, there was a call to the personal secretary. Connect to your boss. Which boss? CEO, connect. And the commanding voice, connect. May I know who is this? I am his wife. Connect. No, ma'am, it's a very important meeting. He said that it is very top level. What top level? There is no top, there is no important. I am the most important. You don't know that. Connect to him. I'm telling you I am his wife. Then this lady said, they all say that. The moment she said, they all say that, next thing this wife did is, took her car and dashed it to this place. Went straight into the meeting room. Held this fellow by the collar in presence of all top 21. What are you doing here? Huh? They all say that. Huh? How many wives you have? How many are calling you like this? This fellow was shocked. Hurry. When did I say that I have more wives? Your personal secretary told me that they all say that. Then Arre Rama. Then only understood. Habitual way of saying things. She did not notice only. To wife this should not be said. It is very tough, leading into a tough situation. She did not use any choice. Mechanical habit. They all say that. Then afterwards he said, you tell that to anybody but not to my wife. Tell some other reason, whatever it is. So the idea here is, this is a way in which we look at things, look at the world. We don't ever try to see that there is some other way. There is another way of looking at the same thing. We are so much habituated to these belief systems, through these thought forms, naming, labeling, that we think this is the only way. But every time we do this, we strengthen and increase our suffering. We create more and more problems and troubles to us. When we look at it, actually, it is not the event that is troubling us. It is not the situation that is troubling us. It is actually the emotional energy that we have to handle, because we feel about it in a particular way. We feel about the event in a particular way. We feel about the situation in a particular way. That feeling about it is troubling us. It is not the event or situation. It is the way in which we feel about the event which is troubling us. So we need not change the event. We need not change the situation. All that we have to change is the way in which we feel about it. If we change the way in which we feel about it, then it is totally different. Actually, we need not even handle the emotion. We have to handle the energy that is coming out. The energy that is getting released through the safety valve, that is just forcing its way out. The energy at that situation, when it starts rising, this energy is almost diffuse and almost nameless. It's a diffused form and a nameless. There is no name to it. And then that nameless, diffused energy begins to take a form because we have given a label and a name. When it begins to take a form, then it becomes either grief or anger or rage or jealousy, whatever you name it. It becomes that. We name it, we give a label to it, and that becomes that. It takes a form. Once it takes a form, it goes on again and again repeatedly in the same way. Why that is there? Because since lifetimes we had been accumulating all this energy that is there. It is not one-time job. It had been our main occupation since lifetimes. So that is there accumulated inside. Because that is there accumulated inside, it is finding a way to get out. And then once we deal with it, simple Few point formula only. Just allow the sensory experience of it. No name, no label, no words. Allow the experience as it is happening to us. Cancel the thought form, cancel the belief system, then choose the energy field of love. Feel that everything is connected, and just you have to tell yourself clearly, there can only be love, that is all. When we can understand that there can only be love, then it will be totally different. The healing begins. There itself the healing begins. Then only the healing begins. Then another important thing that is said here, we talk a lot about surrender. Surrender, 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 surrender. We keep the surrender also in there. Surrender, 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 surrender. But the important thing in the healing is, remember this. Most important thing here is the desire to change what has occurred, what has happened. Always, whatever happens, immediately we get into so many things because the pressurized energy is coming out, and then so many names, labels, thought forms and all that are there. The desire to change what has happened, surrender that desire. Always we want to change what has happened. If we surrender that desire, what has occurred, what has happened, surrender it. First thing to surrender. Surrender that desire to change what has happened. Try to think next time. When something happened, immediately what we want is, it is giving some grief, some problem to us. Why? Because we have already gone through this spontaneously mechanical process. Tuck, 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 tuck. Namakarana ceremony has happened. We have given a name, Namakarana. And then celebration begins for the energy. Once you give a name, it starts celebration. It thought, oh, he's a very kind person, given me a nice groove, nice form, nice thought form, nice emotional form. Thought, emotion, everything. Then it goes on in that groove only. We can't come out of it. So then, first thing is, yes, this is happening. No, let me change what? The desire to change the occurring or happening or event. Second thing is, surrender the way in which we feel about it. How we feel about whatever has occurred, there is feeling. It's coming on. I feel like this, I feel like that, and not good, and inconvenient, and bad, and so many things are coming inside. Because endless series of thoughts appear. When we start feeling, there is no end to the feeling. So much of thoughts, the mind will be so heavy, so burdened, that so much tension-filled mind, we don't know what to do with this. Any event that happens, somebody insulted, or we get angry, or somebody has got surpassed us, we get jealousy, whatever it is, these feelings, when this takes over, it takes over the whole mind, it takes over. Calm goes on, coming into that. Then we go on feeling. Some people continue to feel for the whole day, some people for 1 week, some people are more professionals, 1 month. Very difficult to control that feeling. It goes on and on. Whenever we think, again same thing. It goes on. So surrender the feeling. How we feel about it, when the feeling starts, surrender. The desire arises to change the event, surrender. Third thing to surrender, the energy that is upsurging, the energy that is coming out, you have to tell, oh God, my capacity is limited. I am unable to handle it. I cannot handle this. I surrender this responsibility of handling this energy. I surrender this energy itself to you. Whatever suppressed, repressed, compressed energy is coming out, very difficult to handle it. You have to tell, please take care of it. It is not in my capacity to handle it. I leave it unto you. I leave it at your feet. I surrender it at your feet. Please take care of it. When we say this, what happens is, immediately the help comes from Samashti, the macro level, because the micro has now surrendered to the macro. I can't handle it. Hey Bhagavan, I cannot handle it. You please take care of it. Once I leave it, we come to see that this energy gets handled. No jokes. Energy gets handled. Some infinite presence starts handling it, starts dealing with it, starts taking care of it. The infinite presence, the Virata Rupa, the Vishwarupa, the Hiranyagarbha at the subtle level, at the causal level, the Ishvara. They start handling it. When they start handling it, it gets handled. We come to see that there are so many Mahatmas who have reached that level. They want to help us. They want to assist us. We suddenly find that instead of all the struggle, conflict, tension, anxiety, infinite peace dawns in us. Suddenly there is peace. Suddenly there is everything happening. Instead of tension, restlessness, the peace dawns in us. Why? We have surrendered. 3 things we have surrendered. The desire to change the event, the way in which we feel about what has happened, and now the energy. Think. When we surrender, this is the surrender. Then we will come to see that always there is this presence, infinite beingness, that pure awareness, and this Samashti Tattva. Either you will find the Virata or Hiranyagarbha or Ishvara at your help. And there are many evolved beings who want to help us. Suddenly we will find somebody is handling this for us. This gets handled. We will start wondering what is happening here. It gets handled. And there is no more thought form, no more guru, no more. There is peace, total peace. And this energy is coming out. When it is coming out, no label, no name, no form. It is just going out. When it is just going out, it just goes out. That is all. See, when we test the air pressure in the car tire, sometimes, what happens? Sometimes, what they do in places like India, if there is too much of pressure already there, they will be having so many vehicles to come. They will take one needle and push. Theek ho gaya, jao. They will say, it's okay, go. The other fellow will be worried how much it is. I know how much it is. Every day, thousands of tires I am filling. Go. He will count. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go. That's it. Correct. It goes. We will, no, I want to know. When I say, I want to know, then he will bring that meter and they'll put it, and then it will show that meter. Then the calculation, then the number, then the needle, then the name, then the amount, all will come into picture. If nothing is attached, what name you will have, what count you will have, what you will, nothing, it goes. Same way, inside there is pressure tank. And that tank, it is coming out. Why name it unnecessarily? And say, my pressure, no? Come. I will give you a name, beta. Name. And a name, nice. And then I will give a form. Then it will say, thank you. It gets into form. And maybe it makes us go out of form. Out of order only. We go out of order because of that. So instead of that, we allow it. So we have surrendered it. We left it to Him. And then it goes out. When it goes out, when we leave it to Him, He just starts handling it. This is a giant leap in consciousness. Please remember, that is why I said worldly way is different. Worldly way is totally reactive. Worldly way is comparative. Worldly way is right and wrong. Worldly way is totally filled with duality. Worldly way is going on comparing things. How can I let it go? How can I leave it? The ego wants to hold it, control it, possess it, dominate it. So many names it gives to it. So many excuses it gives to it. No, we are not talking about that. We are talking about healing. We are talking about spiritual evolution. Gaining and rising in levels of consciousness. A situation is there. Leave the ego. Handle it this way. Surrender the energy. Surrender the thought. Surrender the desire. The desire to change, the feeling about it, and the energy, and see how now the totality handles it. It just handles it. As we go deeper into surrender, then we come to experience an infinite mode of existence. A supremely powerful being will take care of it. We can just sit and watch how it is done. Not only that, please understand that there are always sages, Mahatmas, who are willing to help us to come and handle things for us. They will handle. Once we leave it, there is infinite silence. Instead of violence, instead of turbulence, there is silence, there is peace. And once it is handled, there is silent joy of allowing it to be handled. This is what is the specifics of healing. If we understand, then it will be totally different. There was one person who asked his friend, "Why are you looking so sad? You look depressed. What happened?" "It is all because of engagement." "What happened? What happened? Did your engagement with Mary got cancelled?" "Yeah, she broke her engagement with me." "Oh, that is the reason you are depressed. Why did she do that? Did you not tell about your super duper rich uncle, multi-millionaire with no children? So you will be getting the major chunk of the share. Did you not tell her about it so that she looks at it and then she will be connected to you?" "I told her. Now she has become my auntie." She thought, why indirect? When she will give, when he will give to you, and when you will give to me. Direct. Teer maro. Direct. That is why she broke engagement. She directly became my auntie. Now I have to call her Auntie Mary. Mary Auntie. Mary, lekin Mary. He wants to call Mary. Uncle, ye Mary thi. Now what Mary? Now Auntie Mary. Otherwise Mary. What can you do now? That is what it is. When that happens, immediately a thought form is there, and then the naming is there, labeling is there, energy finds a groove, it goes on in that. A whirlpool, like it goes on. And then we are caught up in the worldly way. That is why all that will result in the form of diseases. All the suppressed, repressed, compressed energy, inefficiency to handle it, results in the form of diseases, illness. It has already happened. So now when the disease is there, why resist it? It is appearing, let it appear. Sensory experience, let it be there. Even at that moment, if it is surrendered, it will be handled. It will definitely be handled. I have to tell you one thing. Sharada Amma will tell about that person. Here only I heard about it. Somebody was having a tremendous pain because of some peculiar type of disease or illness. And some stomach lining and all was supposed to be changed. So that was changed because a stomach lining cancer or something has happened. And there doctors have changed it and all that. And they put some synthetic thing or whatever it is. Instead of that lining, they put that and all the intestines in that bag and they kept like. And then what happened? There was so much of pain after that. Pain, continuously pain. Then somehow that person came and met Amma. Amma said, "Why can't you surrender it to God?" I don't think she has said like that. Very lovingly she must have said, very compassionately. "Why can't you surrender it to God?" And that person, I met her 2 years ago, I think, says, suddenly she felt she has to leave it to God. And she went on offering it to God. And afterwards, Paramashiva appeared to her in her dream or a vision, and it appeared and in such a way that he made her feel that everything is being taken away. Next day onwards, no pain. I met the person also. More details Amma will tell you. I don't know who the person's name is, but the person I met. So how this happens? A fact example is there, right? A live example. How can this happen? Surrender. Leave it. But that surrender has to be total. That surrender has to be total. When that surrender is total, then the infinite will handle it. This is a very deep point in healing. If physical problems, physical illness, physical disease, invoke Virata. If there are mental problems, intellectual problems, emotional problems, chitta-based problems, faculty of reasoning, investigation, contemplation, memory, surrender it to Hiranyagarbha. Hiranyagarbha will handle it. ये कौन है भाई हिरण्यगर्भा? ये कहाँ का पहलवान है? Who is this? So this we have to see now. Who is Hiranyagarbha? Adi Shankaracharya. Now see this, every level there is somebody to handle. Huh? Why can't we use, these people are unemployed. They are simply waiting. We are refusing to give employment. No, I will only handle my ego, my problem, my suffering, my pain. Why can't we tell we are all connected? Tera tujhko arpan, kya lage mera? Arpan kar do na. Wo tera hai Virata, take it. That is all very meaningful. Now, who is this Hiranyagarbha? We have to understand his identity card, his composition. What is he made up of? वो क्या माल है, कमाल है. So we have to see now. अपंचीकृत पंचमहाभूतानि पंचतन्मात्राणि तत्कार्यं च पंचप्राणाः दशेन्द्रियाणि मनोबुद्धिश्चेति सप्तदशकं लिंगं भौतिकं हिरण्यगर्भ इति उच्यते. एतत् सूक्ष्मशरीरं Atmanah. Adi Shankaracharya ji now gives us the details of Hiranyagarbha at the totality level, at the macrocosmic level. He is called as Sutratma, he is called as Hiranyagarbha, he is called as the aggregate of all subtle bodies, all minds, all intellects, all memories, all egos put together. He is Hiranyagarbha. How horrible guy he must be, huh? Normally people, one ego only is like this. If he is aggregate of all egos, Baapre, what monstrous appearance he must be. But he is a conscious guy. That is the issue. He knows what he is. He knows, he is aware of his own Swarupa. If he is not conscious, then he will become a Kumbhakarna or Ravana or somebody like that. He is a conscious person. He knows he is the aggregate of all. And he knows what he has to do with them. So, Panchatanmatrani, meaning the rudimentary elements, meaning Apanchikruta Panchamahabhutani. The Panchamahabhutas, subtle Panchamahabhutas before the quintuplication, before the fivefold combination are called as Panchatanmatrani, the rudimentary elements. Then, Apanchikruta Panchamahabhutani, the five elements before going through the process of quintuplication or fivefold combination, Cha, and Tat Karyam, Bhautikam, Lingam, and their effects, the material, the subtle body. Their effect is subtle body. Whose effect? Panchatanmatrani, Apanchikruta Panchamahabhutani. Then, what is the subtle body made up of? Saptadashakam, 17 parts. What are these 17 parts? पंच प्राणाः प्राणापान व्यान उदान समान, 5 dashendriyani, 5 organs of perception, 5 organs of action. Yesterday we have already seen. Then manaha buddhihi cha iti, mind and the intellect are together. Uchyate are called as hiranyagarbha iti, hiranyagarbha. Etat sukshma shariram atmanaha. This is said to be the subtle body of Atman. So what is hiranyagarbha? Hiranyagarbha is equal to 5 plus 10 plus 2. That is all. 5 pranas, 10 organs. 10 organs means 5 organs of perception, 5 organs of action, mind and intellect. Hiranyagarbha is equal to 17. That is all. That is Hiranyagarbha. So totality of all subtle bodies is Hiranyagarbha. Sutratma. Only through the Sutratma everything is handled. All minds. It is like one head of all CEOs. How it will be? All nations in the world choose one head. But United Nations organizations chooses one head, but there are many heads that don't listen to this head. That is a different head. So, but if there is one head, all look up to that one head and they follow orders. All minds, all subtle bodies, he is the boss, Hiranyagarbha. So, if we have to handle our mind, very difficult. If you give it to that boss, Hiranyagarbha, handle it, he will handle it. It is like this. Or what we have to do for that? Any payment? No payment. Any recommendation? No recommendation. What? Simple prayer and meditate in this format and surrender. That's it. He will handle it. So then, continuing further, Adi Shankaracharya wants to tell us about that at the individuality level. Karaneshu upasamhruteshu jagarita samskarajaha pratyayah savishayah swapna iti uchyate tad ubhayabhimani atma taijasaha etatrayam ukaraha etatrayam ukaraha ukaraha. Karaneshu upasamhruteshu, when the sense organs are quiet and then withdrawn. Pratyayaha, the knowledge. Jagarita samskarajaha, arising from the impressions of the waking state. When the sense organs are quiet and withdrawn. Then the knowledge of the impressions arising from the waking state. There are so many impressions that we gather in the waking state. Savishayaha uchyate swapna iti. Along with its imaginary objects is called as swapna. What is a dream? The dream is knowledge arising out of the impressions that we have gathered in the waking state plus its imaginary objects is equal to dream. And then in the dream state, sense organs are quiet and withdrawn. And what are active there? The impressions that we have gathered from the waking state and their imaginary objects are very active. That is called as swapna, dream. Atma tadubhaya abhimani, the Atman which identifies with itself with the dream state and the subtle body. The dream state and the subtle body is called as Taijasaha. What is the name at the individual level? One who identifies with the dream state and the subtle body, Taijasaha. Vishwaha is equal to gross body plus waking state. Taijasaha is equal to dream body plus dream state. So, one who identifies with this. Etatrayam, these three, subtle body, dream state, and Taijasa. Taijasa, subtle body, and dream state are all called as Ukaraha. Ukara. When we say Om, in that Akara is Vishwa. Vishwa is equal to gross body plus waking state. Ukara is equal to Taijasa plus dream body plus dream state is Ukaraha. And once we understand this, then whenever we chant Om, Adi Shankaracharya says, before you complete Om, you should have already merged gross body, Vishwa into Virata, Taijasa into Hiranyagarbha, and the next one into the next one. Later on we will see, that's why I told next one. So, into that one, just to merge it. One beggar went and stood in front of a house and said, Bhikshan dehi, kuchai to de do. Bhook lag raha hai, feeling hungry, give something. He shouted, yelled. And then a voice came from inside. The house mistress is not there. House mistress is absent. Then this beggar asked, I am not asking for house mistress. I am asking for some alms, something, some food. So, what one asks has to be clear. Not only with the person who is asking, but also with the person who is giving. So, this is a way in which we meditatively merge, asking him to take over. So, the process has to be clear. Who is asking whom? That is why this is being explained to us in this format, in this manner, so that we can become clear. So, one thing very important here is the consciousness, Chidvastu, the pure consciousness is Asanga. Please understand this one. Asanga means unattached. Second one, Chidvastu is Udasina. Udasina means indifferent, unconcerned, neutral, and uninvolved. Indifferent, unconcerned, neutral, uninvolved. Udasina. And third pointer is Advitiya, non-dual. When I say, I am the pure consciousness, later on Adi Shankaracharya will lead us there only. After merging all of them, then he will take step by step, upar with pure consciousness. Then finally he will land us where? Pure consciousness. What is this pure consciousness? Asanga. Asangoham. Asanga, unattached. I am not attached with anything. Everything is an appearance in me. My own form, my own consciousness in another form. So where is the question of getting attached? Asanga. Udasina. Udasinam Shantaswarupam. That's what it is. In Namasmarana we did that. Udasina. Udasinaha, very clearly, indifferent, unconcerned, neutral, not involved or uninvolved. I am not concerned about it. I am not involved in it. As a pure consciousness, I am not concerned. I am not involved. I am indifferent. I am totally neutral when I feel like that. And then another pointer is Advitiya, non-dual. And this is a contemplation, non-dual. I am pure consciousness, Asanga, Udasina, Advitiya. And this is a mantra which we have to do continuously. When we do that, all our so-called naming, labeling, thought form, emotional form, belief system, all of them will change. Now this is a different belief system. This is not belief system, but this is a system of attaining higher knowledge and oneness. The total, what is normal belief system is different. I am the body, I am the mind, I am pressure, I am troubled, I have this form, I have that form. No, what is it? I am pure consciousness. Asanga, Udasina, Advitiya. Then what is all this? And this way, if we can identify, we can easily gain oneness with Hiranyagarbha. And Hiranyagarbha also we see as a manifestation of pure consciousness. Even more powerful. We get connected with even more powerful thing. So, see, it is said, when various forms are made out of mud, there are various forms. So many forms out of mud are made. All these forms are given different names. When all these forms are given different names, we see them as differently. Is it not? A mud lid is different from mud pot, and mud glass is different from mud vessel. Mud flower vase is different from mud spoon. You go on seeing all different. Where is this actual difference? Is it in substance or is it in the name that we are giving? It is in the name. Name is what? Speech. Our speech. Name is what? If you don't speak, is there a name? Speech. Name is speech. So, all the difference is connected with speech. Actually, there is no difference in mud. Actually, there is no difference, because same mud became pot, same mud became vessel, same mud became flower vase, same mud became spoon, same mud became lid, same mud became plate. Actually, there is no difference. It's all mud and mud and mud and mud. But we give names. That difference is speech. Is only speech, nothing else but speech. Speech is difference. Actually, there is no difference. Actually, they are all one. When they are all one, what differentiates them is speech. If we withdraw that, they remain as one. There is no difference that is perceived. And this speech is connected with the thought form. Is it not? So, that is why it was said, leave the thought form, cancel it, cancel the word, use no words at all. We have seen, no? Specifics of healing points, use no words at all. Why? All difference is of speech. If you remove the speech, that has no sustenance. It can't stand. If you remove the speech, grief from the grief, it can't stand. If you remove the name from the anger, it cannot stand. If you remove the name, it cannot, because it becomes substance. Similarly, if we remove all the different names of our forms, what will happen? Even this difference also, the Taijasa and Hiranyagarbha. Substance is consciousness. Name is Taijasa, name is Hiranyagarbha. Micro Taijasa, macro Hiranyagarbha. Remove the name, what is it? One consciousness. All differences of speech. To make us understand the oneness, this is explained. Adhyaropa apavadabhyam. In this consciousness, for us to experience oneness with that consciousness, which we are refusing to understand, know, practice, meditate, and be with it. Now, masters like Sri Adi Shankara, they come and then they try to tell us that consciousness has become all this. Now we understand all this because I see body also, mind also. Yeah! And then name they withdraw. Once they withdraw the name, it is all consciousness. This is a merger. This is step by step taking us into that level. Taijasa into Hiranyagarbha. We are being led into that state of Hiranyagarbha Tattva. Slowly we are taken there. Then we are left with Hiranyagarbha. There was one person who had one good friend. That friend was a girl. but good friend. This person also was good. So the girl also was friendly with him. But one unique thing was, this person is a very economically very low level of living person, this boy. And that girl is a multi-billionaire. Lot of billions and billions and billions of money. So, they were good friends. Somehow they got into good friendship, and then they were assisting, cooperating on each other and all that. One day, this boy proposed to her. Out of friendliness or whatever it is, he proposed. Would you like to marry me? She said, no. I would like to remain only as a friend, but not as your wife. No, I never thought like that. Then this boy immediately said, I knew you would say like this. I knew your answer is no. Then she asked, if you knew that my answer is no, then why did you ask? Why did you ask? Then he says, just to see how a man will feel when he loses billions of dollars. How a man feels when he loses billions of dollars. For a few moments he felt that she will accept. And all billions Mera. Mary gave hand, so Mera is fine, safe. So all billions Mera. They are all mine. And then suddenly she said no. Billions gone. Is it not? All billions gone. How a man feels when he loses billions of dollars. I wanted to see. That's why I asked. Now you might say, when did he lose? Because they were never his. What are we doing sitting in computers? Shares and stocks. Mera! Badga. Oh, stock has increased, share has increased. Next day, you have neither seen the money, nor touched the money, nor smelt the money, nor hugged the money, nor eaten the money, nor heard the money. Nothing. Sit in front of computer, push few buttons. Is it not a game? When children play video game, they are playing video game. We are also playing computer game only. No actual profit and loss. It is all rise of the graph, fall of the graph. When that rises and falls, our heart graph also rises and falls. The brain stress graph also rises and falls. All graphics. Graphical living. We are living in a virtual world. All computer world. That is all. That is why those people also made the movie Avatar. From here to there. Whatever it is. Just think of it. What is all this? If that fellow said, how a man would feel if I lose billions of dollars. That is what is happening with us. It is all a game that we are playing. Only the notion that it is mine gives the problem. When we own a fan, or when we own a electric bulb, suppose, it doesn't work because I say it is mine. Hey, it's mine, come on. No, we have to connect it to a source of power, we have to switch it on. Maybe there are like this and like that, and then thought sensors also might be there. But you have to do something, no? To on it or to switch it off. So people like to have such electric gadgets. You know why? They will act according to their. You tell the same thing to your wife. You will also hear another sound, but you don't know where. You don't know where. It can be on you also. There was one mother who took her son to a movie. 5-year-old son to a movie. Mother and son went to a movie and that was an Indian movie. And then the family story, this love story, all stories only. The stories are. And then everything was going on nice and dancers and this and that. And suddenly all audience became serious. Because there was a hot argument between hero and heroine. Husband and wife in that. Hot argument. Missiles, bullets. And suddenly, all were silent. One sound, PAD! Husband slaps the wife. Sound. That stereophonic effect. Surround sound in that movie. Everywhere they heard that. All around slapping. Then, total peace in the movie hall. What happens next? Then this boy says, Mom! Why doesn't she hit back like you do? That mother felt so inconvenient because everybody started looking at her. After the movie was over, few ladies came to meet her. Why? How do you do that? Give us the technique. Because we would also like to do. So, we do not know what will happen. So, that is why what the most important thing here is how we can understand our connectivity and relationship with the totality. We have the totality ready to serve us, ready to help us, ready to share our burden, ready to share our illness, disease, everything it is ready to take. But we are not ready to give because giving has not been practiced. That giving, offering, surrendering all these things to God. That is the most important thing. That is what is said here. Sureshwaracharyaji in his Vartika goes on explaining about what is Sankalpa, what is mind, what is intellect, what is memory, what is ego. You know all that. So, then, Etat Sukshma Shariram Syat Mayikam Pratyagatmanaha. This is from Vartika, so it is not there in that paper. So, Etat Sukshma Shariram Syat Mayikam Pratyagatmanaha. Then Sureshwaracharya says, this linga, this sharira, linga sharira or body is called as Mayikam Sukshma Shariram, illusory subtle body of Pratyagatman, of the innermost self. And then he continues to say, what is Taijasa? A very beautiful interpretation. Tejasi Vasanayam aham mama abhimanitaya trupto bhavati iti Taijasaha. Very clear explanation. What is Taijasa? Tejasi Vasanayam aham mama abhimanitaya trupto bhavati iti Taijasaha. One who feels contented on getting identified with desires connected with vasanas. All vasanas that are there, they arise. And then when they arise, they are mine. I am that. They are mine. Aham mama abhimanitaya. I and mine. When they rise inside the mind, when somebody says I and mine, identifies with all the vasanas and their expressions in the form of desires, that fellow is called as Taijasa. Subtle body. In subtle body, what rise? Mind, intellect, memory, ego. Vasanas are there. Vasanas give rise to desires. Whatever rises, these identify and say mine. In that mine, my suffering, my problem, my tension, my stress, my disease, my illness. How can I give it away when it is mine? I am suffering, I am ill, I am bad, I am this. How can I leave it I? All this aham mama abhimanitaya. It is only because of that identification they belong to him. One who is identified with this called as Taijasa. Subtle body here at the subtle level. Taijasa means the fellow is always identified with whatever appears is identified. Are we not that? Anything appears in our mind, anger appears, identified, insult appears, identified, pain appears, identified, stress appears, identified, nothing appears, still identified. Because past belief system. It goes on getting identified. This is what we are doing. What else we are doing? Constantly this pursuit. And another beautiful meaning Sureshwara gives here. Tejomaya antahakarana vritti visishtatvat taijasaha. Tejomaya Antahakarana vritti vishishtatvat Taijasa. Meaning, it is called Taijasa because of it being identified with modifications of the Antakarana. Why it is called Taijasa? Because it is identifying itself with modifications of Antahakarana. Ooh, modifications in intellect, modifications, mind modifications, chitta modifications, ego modifications. All modifications coming out, coming out, coming out. There are some places where if you go, some places in the world, there are certain volcanoes which are not above the ground, which are below the ground, and the heat from those volcanic states under the earth starts coming out. They go on coming out, heat. And then they become sightseeing spots also, like mud pools, where the it comes. If you go to New Zealand and Australia, especially in New Zealand, we come to see those things. It will come. All that goes on coming out. And people go and stand there and go on watching the fun. And they earn a lot of money through that only. Otherwise, there is nothing else that can be done there. So, only tourism. They survive on tourism mostly. So, they keep on doing that. So, people go there and see, but they are not allowed to enter inside. But it goes on, so many you see, it goes on coming. Like that, in our internal organ, eruptions. Goes on, eruptions. All eruptions are happening. Intellectual eruptions, mental eruptions, chitta eruptions, ego eruptions. All eruptions. They go on happening. So they are continuously happening. Then what happens? Who is this Taijasa? With every burk, he goes and identifies and goes inside. Burk. You understand? Burk. That's it. This is what happens. What are we? That only. Burk. You see next time when that jealousy, burk. And then you go identify. Then it surrounds. Then you get round. Burk. Finished. Never coming out of it. Then suddenly, some rage. That burk, it comes out because of some reason. Then immediately one gets identified. Then it's around. Then burk goes down. That's all. This is what it is. This is subtle body. One who is the indweller of the subtle body is Taijasa. Tejomaya antahakarana vritti vishishtatvat Taijasaha. So, one who gets identified with the modifications of the inner organ, which is full of ideas. How is this? Full of ideas. Ideas are light, full of light. What is there in the dream state? All ideas only. Ideas, light. That light, that Tejomaya, that light goes on, light goes on supporting all these ideas. When light goes on supporting all these ideas, and then we get identified with those ideas. Even in the mind also, even in the dream also, that is what it is. Then what we have to do here, that is what is told here. Hiranyagarbha rupena tejasam chintayed buddhaha. Hiranyagarbha rupena Tejasam. It is also called as Taijasam. Chintayed Buddhaha. Teja, because that Tejas only gives ideas, but actually it is Taijasa. Hiranyagarbha rupena Taijasam Chintayed Buddhaha. Buddhaha Chintayed. The wise one should look upon Taijasam, the Taijasa, as Hiranyagarbha rupena, as Hiranyagarbha or subjective totality. This is the meditation. So, when all the are happening, if you think you are individual ego who has to get identified, no. I am not Taijasa, where you get and I go inside. No, I am Hiranyagarbha. When I am Hiranyagarbha, I am one with that Hiranyagarbha. He has all the aggregate of all the minds, intellects, memories, egos. He knows how to handle. I am that, and that gets handled. Just simply, quietly invoke. Next time when you can't manage anything mentally, you have to just invoke. This is not mine. Actually, I am not Taijasa. I am not this subtle body. I am Hiranyagarbha, the total subtle body. Then he will start handling it. He will start taking care of it. That is what it is said. Gnani identifies with similarities. Ajnani identifies with differences. Broad-minded people say the world is our family. Small-minded people say, are they our people? Are they our people? Small mind. Broad mind, world is my family. That is why we start with, we stand as one family. Bound to each other with love and respect. So that is how we stand. See, important thing here is, if once the multiplication is taught to us through one problem, multiplication or addition is taught to us through one sum, one problem in math, then we can do any additions and any multiplications. Is it not? First learning that addition, multiplication is important. Once we learn, then we can do anything, because the same thing. What Adi Shankara is trying is, he is trying to teach the math of identification with the totality. Once it is taught, then it is our play like that. Now if somebody asks you what is 2 plus 2, patak you will say. No need to think also. Just like that we will say. Immediately it comes out. Only if it is asked in some high level interviews, they will start worrying what is 2 plus 2. Why this fellow has asked me? There must be some catch in it. There must be some trick in it. I think there is something. Like in one high level CEO interview, then somebody asked one CEO, he thought and thought and thought and said, 2 plus 2 is 194. The interviewer, 194? Wow, what an answer. And he was shocked. 194, how it comes? I don't know, he went on thinking. Then he looked at another CEO who was attending interview. He said, oh, he is asking me the same question, 2 plus 2. Then he thought and said, 2 plus 2 is Thursday. Because he thought there is no numerical answer. There must be alphabetical Thursday. And third CEO was asked. He said 2 plus 2, 4! Then this interviewer felt so happy and relieved that at least one CEO knows the correct answer. Then he asked him, how did you arrive at that answer? He said, simple, sir. I subtracted 194 from Thursday. ये कैसा होता समझ में नहीं आता. How does this happen? We don't know. But it happens. But sometimes correct fluke. But how it got 4, 194 minus Thursday, we don't know. We don't know that calculation, but we know the answer is correct. Sometimes it happens like that. Now here, Adi Shankaracharya ji wants to tell us one thing. After we know this, we will stop. One important thing is, when we go to a movie, when we watch the movie, we know all is fabricated, all is this and what. But still, there one thing happens with us. We get identified with them. We undergo emotions. Why do we do that? Do we do that because director has asked us to do that? Did actor come and say, please, my dear audience, this is my survival question. If you don't feel emotionally involved, my movie will go flop. And I will get flat. So please weep when I am weeping, laugh when I am laughing, jump when I am jumping. Did anybody give you script? At any time, any producer, any director, any movie theater owner, when the moment you enter the hall, script, how you have to respond to the movie. Nobody gives the script. Movie is made by director, producer, actor, everybody. We go and sit and watch. When we get identified, who is writing this script for the viewer? Are we not individually writing our scripts? Huh? Are we not writing our scripts? Is producer writing our script? Is director writing our script? Is actor writing? Our favorite hero, is he writing our script? Our favorite director, is he writing our script? Nobody writes our script. They all make a movie, they show. We go to the show and then we write our script. We get involved, we get identified, we get into suffering, we get into emotion, we jump and dance, we fight with others. We go on getting involved. All emotions, thoughts, experiences we undergo because of the movie. Why? Our script. Can we blame the producer for our experience? Can we blame? No. Can we say that director is the cause, that actor is the cause for our experience? No. We are the cause. We write our script. If this is understood, when the God also releases the Maya show, do you think God has written script of how we should respond to the show, how we should view the show, how we should interact with the show, how we should undergo emotions with the show? God has not written the script. We write our script, but comfortably blame God. Why God made this like that? Next time when you want to ask this question, go to a movie and say, why this producer is making me undergo these emotions like that? Why this director is really making me suffer like that? Why these actors are making me suffer like that? Because the poor God doesn't say anything, he goes on smiling. Whatever you say, you go and sit in front of him and say, why did you create the world like that? He created. Why are you watching it? Why are you getting identified with it? You are writing your script. You write your script and blame poor God. He also, like the producer, director, actors, he has got all. He made the show, movie. That is all. We are writing our scripts. When we are writing our script, can't we rewrite it? Can't we write it in a different way? Why write mechanical scripts? Why can't write conscious script? Adi Shankaracharya ji is teaching us to write conscious scripts. Get out of the mechanical script. Stop. Mechanical scripts have been tying you down to this chain of samsara and suffering. You will never come out of that. Now he is giving you a conscious script. Write it. Once you write the script, then you will know how to be with the movie. Once you write now, then you will know. Later on you will go beyond the script also, because you will become spontaneous. Once you know that you are consciousness, this is all a show, experientially, no more scripts are required. Even the sadhana script is not required. You go beyond the script. That is the glory of Vedanta Marga, which says you go beyond Vedanta also, because you become one with pure consciousness. Once you become a pure consciousness, where is the need for any teaching and scripts? To go there, the script is necessary. Because we write our scripts, now he is showing the conscious script. This is conscious script writing. That is Panchikarana. We will see tomorrow what else is in store for us at the causal level. We have seen gross level, then subtle level, then we will go on to causal level. Then he guides us what we have to do with all the levels. That also is a very beautiful sadhana. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayaha, sarve bhadrani pasyantu, ma kaschit dukkha bhag bhavet, asato ma sadgamaya, tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, mrutyorma amrutangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ।